Yeah. So
Or I've had like, I don't know how you feel about this. Like, before we venture off into the Will and Jada topic that you want to talk about for, but anyway, so like, like the whole like affirmative action, right?
yeah.
Do, do you think affirmative action benefits or harms
Uh
people in the workforce?
I don't know if I don't have a clear definition of it. So I only know it with colleges. Because isn't affirmative action like if a minority wanted, right? If a minority wanted to go to a certain college,
It's everything. It's like college, the workforce, like it's everything.
really? In the workforce too?
Yeah,
Like if
it's
someone wasn't like necessarily qualified for something?
certain workforces. I should say, not every single like profession, but certain they are protected. Yeah, it's like, do you remember like this is back to college, like the UT case, like it was very prevalent. I think her name was Abby Fisher. I could be wrong.
I don't
So
all.
her name was Abby Fisher, and like this went all the way up to the Supreme Court. This was like within the last decade, definitely between 2010 and 2020. So Abby Fisher, again, could be botching her name, Abby, whatever.
Yeah.
She didn't get accepted into UT, even though she had the qualifications, because she was like top 10, top 12, something like that. She had all the qualifications, but they chose minority students over her because they had to meet the status quo. And she was like, hey, like that goes against like affirmative action. Like she took it up to the Supreme Court. I don't remember what the decision was, but that's definitely something that happened within our lifetime.
And I kind of remember. I feel like that happens a lot actually.
Mm-hmm.
Um that sounds like reverse affirmative action, right? I thought that like benefits minorities.
It does, but so she was white.
Yeah.
And so she was like, I didn't get in because UT has a status quo about how many minority students they let in. So like, if they didn't have this status quo, I
Mhm.
probably would have been let in.
Dang. It's getting
So it's
deep.
like, yeah, so it's like, okay, like how it's just interesting because like I want to study more about affirmative action, like and understand like how it actually like works and like is effective. So like in my head, I'm like, okay, like how would you feel if DBU had one spot left and you had more qualifications than me, but I was a black student, so I got in, or like hiring somebody solely off of skin color, like
I'm low key with the affirmative action situation because I feel like your board, like this goes for like company boards and stuff. Like, I just feel like your board should represent
America.
country.
Yeah, agreed.
And this goes really deep. I don't know, just like I feel like your surroundings should be similar to the country surroundings, even the
Correct.
world. Like, I feel like it's not cool to have one, like, just like friends of just one culture. That's whack. I don't know. I feel like you should be friends with like all cultures
Right.
or like try whatever. Because yeah, I'm yeah, it's weird. I'm weirdly into it because honestly, as a white dude, I apply for jobs like I'm the most generic person. So I just kind of have that mentality of like they have plenty of white guys like me. So I just kind of have the attitude of like, apply for this job, apply for like just kind of like if they reject me, whatever, like I get it. But yeah, yeah. When you put it like that, I'm kind of like leaning towards that, like
Yeah.
hiring a minority who might be more a little like a tad underqualified than someone who is very qualified.
Right. So like I think in my office, like in the rental department, I'm the only black one, but like in the total office, I think right now we have maybe 10 to 12 people. Like it's super like tiny, but there's only two blacks. It's me and a guy named Lester. So
Yeah.
like it's just like interesting to see like the all walks of life like in the building because like we have like our receptionist is Hispanic. Most of the service people are Hispanic or white, and like low key they be back there bumping fire in the break. The other day,
Yeah.
I was back there and they were bumping. They were listening to some old stuff. She Will by Drake and Lil Wayne.
Dang.
Like they were going way back then. I was like, we're not allowed. Like we kind of like have to separate rental and service because like COVID. But I was like, dang, they're back there bumping that fire, and they were singing their heart out back there. Like it was like service department was out there like jamming.
She will.
Yes. Do it for the realest. Yeah. They were ugly.
Yeah.
They were ugly singing. But like, yeah, I'm kind of for it because like before those parameters were put in place, like that wasn't a thought. Like that was an afterthought.
Yeah.
And it does get deep because it's like, sure, I'm not gonna say like some people will get hosed because of it, and like I'm aware of that. But like there are plenty of people already getting hosed because these parameters weren't in place. So these CEOs and these boards didn't have to even think about minority people beforehand.
Yeah. And this like kind of brings up to the whole like lately like Nike, like they're trying to be woke and like things, but you look at their board and it's all white. Cool. You took up the Redskins and all that. Cool. You only did it because it's cool now. Oh my goodness.
It's just like like you tweet out like you're not woke, you just have common sense, and also like the same thing like with these. This is very controversial. It's fine, but these like wanting the monuments to be like torn down. Like I understand it, like I get it, but like, what is that doing to help?
Yeah.
Like if I go tear down Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee like statues, like am I going to get a gratification for a couple minutes? Yeah, but what is that really doing to fix the problem? Because they're already there. The problem is those people and their relatives and their ancestors, like, it's their mindset. You have to fix their mindset. But, like, tearing that stuff down, that's just symbolism. That's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, what you going to put in your resume? Responsible for tearing down Jefferson Davis statue. Like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.